Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the edition of How Did This Get Booked? I, of course, am your host, Jake Manning, and I'm a veteran of the professional wrestling business for over a decade, and I've held every single job except selling popcorn. I'm joined by a man who is on his phone right now. I'm assuming he is handling booking from Queens of Combat.
No, I'm looking at the card for this show.
Oh, the card for the show. Oh, so you're finally doing your research for said show.
I watched, I dabbled, and I was just to refresh my memory on the order.
You probably watched it live, didn't you?
I probably did watch it live, actually, now that I think about it.
This is a part of your childhood.
This actually is, yes.
Okay, well, the man that...
So I just remembered it all from then.
My co-host, Zane Riley. Zane, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Jake. How are you?
Okay, well, we'll save...
I'm still dealing with Queen stuff as is, so not trying to do new things, trying to fix things that have been done.
Okay, well, we'll have a nice discussion probably on the next podcast. It's another two-for taping day, so tune into next week to.
I like 2 a days.
We'll get a little chit chatty on that next one
because we gotta fill time.
Because the next episode, I don't think we're gonna have a lot to talk about. We do have a lot to talk about today, and I want to get to our guest, our non-wrestling fan, a man that has joined the three-timer club with Lauren Ansley, if I'm not mistaken.
We're the only one.
You're the only male member of the three-timer club. And Bryan Penn. Bryan, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Mr. Jake Manning. I watched this thing. Oh boy, I've got some notes. It is physically possible that I saw it live. I would have been a toddler, but it
could have been in that beach crowd.
Doubtful.
I mean, it was the largest crowd that has ever seen a WCW event in North America ever. Mm-hmm. So
okay,
and were they counting the entire population of the beach?
I'm pretty sure they were. I think that's how
people that weren't even there. Did you see that guy in the background with the metal detector? That guy was there.
Right.
Just probably Eric Bischoff walking around with a clicker, just clicking everybody on the beach.
10,
no, he would have made
30,
Gary
40.
Jester probably do that. That would have been a Gary Jester job. So Eric,
they were really proud of this one. The Slim Jim.
Oh, we'll get to all that.
I don't know what. I feel like you start with this. So
we start with this, but I always ask this of returning guests all the time. I want to get to the bottom of this. Mm-hmm. Because we get people that are non-wrestling fans on here, and you are a non-wrestling fan.
Yes.
And you've been on previous episodes. One was a RWC or something like that, or I can't remember. Or WWC.
One was at a youth church event, something.
Yes, it was something along those lines. So it was an indie shows,
right?
And then we had you watch WWE Backlash, I think 2017, if I'm not mistaken,
or
2018,
recent-ish.
It was very, very recent, and now we are making you watch a pay-per-view from WCW in the 90s.
Right.
So, what my question is to you, and I asked it to you last time. And it'll be interesting to see if we get a different answer.
I'm interested to see what this question's going to be.
The question is, has this podcast from the last time you were on inspired you to watch any professional wrestling whatsoever?
Well,
besides the homework given.
Besides the homework given, none has been watched at all since the last podcast. I don't know if that's good or bad. No, but
it's the usual.
It's the usual, yeah. You know what's weird is ever since, I'll tell you, I have had one update in my wrestling knowledge since the podcast. I did the same thing. He just dropped his bottle cap. So I'm a fan of Japanese animated television programming, and there's a bit of crossover because wrestling's really big in Japan. Mm-hmm. So if I'm watching reviews 2019, wrestling comes up. Apparently there's some new network that's happening, brand new, something like that. Okay. Is the letter E's in there?
No, don't help him. Nope. Let him tell us about it. Tell us more.
Okay, well, so apparently there's an all-new, Chapter 1, Genesis, Origin. This is the beginning of, WWE is something, and this is something else that's starting for the first time soon, or possibly just a little bit ago. Not sure when.
And how does the anime play into this?
Just a guy who likes anime likes this as well, and talked about both.
Okay, so there's a YouTube thing?
Yeah, Super Eye Patch Wolf. I'll say that guy on here. He's pretty cool. He's got some good reviews. Made a lot of comparisons between Dragon Ball Z, of which I am a fan, and pro wrestling. A lot of double axe handles in both, apparently. I learned that term from the description.
Could you do a double axe handle right now?
Could I do one? I mean, yeah.
Or could you just put your arms in the position?
I don't want to break my pinky. I feel
Okay.
like I've always had that thought.
Well, I think you're incorrect on what this position is.
Double
But
axe handle. It's you hit someone like this, right? Ain't that
Okay, close enough.
right?
that's
But
more-
like your pinky's like right
It's up
there.
here. It's up
Either way, still I
actually,
worry about the pinky.
Actually, the show has a double axe handle in it. You're going more for a Polish.
Polish hammer.
Polish hammer.
Polish hammer. Okay.
That's
That's the Polish hammer over here.
Oh.
Axe handle's up here.
I
Like
just
an axe.
thought it was. Oh yes, that is what it was. An over the head
Yeah,
slam down
yeah.
on someone's head while flying. That's the anime version.
As the real people wrestling version too.
Oh, good. Good to know.
There you
Wow.
go. So you know that there's some sort of new wrestling league
That is
happening or coming out, and that's all you know about it.
That's all I know about it. Yes.
And you found out this
Mm-hmm.
through
A channel called Super Rat Patch Wolf saying Best of 2019 Summer Edition, and then and I thought to myself, I was like, do I get into it? And I quickly said, no, I don't. No, I do not
all right.
do that.
Well,
It's just one more thing to like.
I'm sure
keep up
TNT is excited to know that they found out about this new wrestling venture that they've got. You found out of it through a YouTube video online
Super
somewhere.
Patch Wolf.
Super Rat Patch Wolf.
So
pretty good videos.
All of that, those advertising dollars that they're pouring down
No, it's just
traditional
some
forms of
And all-
media.
I saw none of them.
And
None
all
of
I'm really
them.
trying to say is, Cody, let me be your lawn care guy.
I'm just saying, Cody. Well, I'm just give me an opportunity. I am connected to the youth of America, and I'm connected.
the owners of that company you're talking about.
Got it. I mean, like, he had this same person had this whole other video about like why you should watch pro wrestling, and it was very informative. I learned.
But I did not heed its information.
No,
Good man.
I did not. But I was like,
Stay true to the path.
Okay, that would be cool to watch, and then I didn't. But I
Right on.
thought,
But that's why I love you, Brian.
That's right.
But that's
You're not going to be peer pressured by Super Eye Patch Wolf.
No, he ain't gonna get me. Ain't gonna get you got like that.
Just my views and my thumbs.
But that's why you're going to continue to be on here.
Cool.
And that's why I dig you. But I also dig the people that have left reviews. Zane, they have
Are
heeded
they
the
coming
call.
out in droves?
They are. I think this might be the most amount of names that I'm going to have to list off.
Wow.
At least on the iTunes portion. Because Stitcher, Bobby T from At This Toy Life is still at the top of the poll on Stitcher. On iTunes, Shy Animals 17 has been dethroned.
No.
She was dethroned by Mo Big Dog, who's actually a very wonderful man. Bob from Iowa. I gave him a How Did This Get Booked t-shirt this weekend. He was at the Revolver Show.
Well, Iowa Bob.
Super fucking fantastic guy. He loves 10 Bell Pod, my non-traders podcast.
Yeah.
He loves the Vader and Brody episodes for two different reasons.
Because he loves Brody and hates Vader.
Yes, because he likes the amount that we praise Brody and love
shit on
Brody
Vader.
and shit on Vader. So you should check those out. And then Mo Big Dog was dethroned by Ray, which I think is our friend Ray again, who made the wonderful Manning Cave signs, and I appreciate it. I still got to put up the second one, which I'll put on the inside of the door. I need to get to that eventually. That's probably one of the things I'll do later on tonight. And then Ray was dethroned by Make Love Like War.
Okay.
But it doesn't make a difference.
Play on words
Chris
there.
Chavez 13 dethroned them, and then right now sitting at the top of the polls of iTunes, Light Guy Nate, who I met at Starcast 2. He was a very nice individual, and I appreciate him so much for coming over and saying hello to me there. And he could have had an opportunity to say hello to you as well. You were running around running things at Starcast 2, so you missed out on Zane, but you got me.
And Iowa Bob could have possibly seen my debut at Revolver.
Possibly, maybe. Wink, wink.
Quick nudge.
But
I wasn't in Raleigh.
Yeah, you wasn't, not at all.
That wasn't me. That wasn't Crash Jackson either.
Definitely not. No, and I believe even the commentator for that event name-checked Zane Riley's a possible mask.
As he should.
On that
As he
Revolver
should.
show. As he should, because he was directed to do so.
Because it was me. Wait,
Yeah.
Wait.
No.
I get reimbursed for that flight. See what I talked to about that, Sammy.
I think Melissa Foss will take care of that. She's
Melissa, M-Dog.
Yo, M-Dog.
Good girl.
Dizzle.
Sign them DMs.
But I just want to put that at the top of the show because you guys made it a priority to leave a review, and I want to make sure that you are a priority on the show because I can't thank you guys enough for doing so. And like I said, I gave Bob his t-shirt in Iowa. So everybody else that I just listed off, I don't think I've given you your t-shirts yet. Make sure you slide into my DMs and send me your mailing address and your shirt size, and I will get you a How Did This Get Booked t-shirt out to you immediately. We've been calling out to these fans to leave reviews, and they've been doing a fantastic job, but I haven't been shipping out a lot of t-shirts. So, guys, I will gladly ship out a t-shirt for you guys.
Now, I ran into someone at the Raleigh GalaxyCon before you got there that was asking if we had those shirts for sale. I was like, oh, no, Jake's not here until later, until Saturday. This must have been Friday. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be here until tomorrow. He may have some shirts with him. I don't know what his travel stitch is. But if you go online and you review or leave a review, you can buy. He'll send you a shirt for free. He goes, no, I want to buy one. So maybe all these people want to buy a shirt.
Well, it's available at howthisgetbooked.com. You can buy one just as easily. But if you want a free How Did This Get Booked t-shirt, all you got to do is just leave a review on iTunes or Stitcher, and I will mail it out to you as soon as you give me that information. So thank you to everybody who's left a review. And Light Guy Nate, you're sitting at the top of the poll. And Bobby T from At This Toy Life, you are still sitting at top of the poll.
Just a couple swinging dicks sitting on poll.
Well, let's just get some females out there. Let's get some females leaving some reviews and just kind of change those demographics on iTunes and Stitcher.
You're going to need a little diversity hire on here. Come on, let's go.
Well, it's not a lot of diversity on the topic of discussion today.
Just a whole bunch of crackers and a couple black dudes.
We'll get there.
All the whites. Every white.
Get there.
We will get there, and where we are at right now is our topic of discussion, which we are discussing WCW pay-per-view Bash at the Beach 1995, which took place Sunday, July 16th, 1995 in Huntington Beach, California. And when I looked on Wikipedia, it listed the venue for the event of the beach.
Good. It's not called Bash at the Civic Center.
I mean, that's the thing is like
the beach.
There's no particular venue like you normally in these listings. They're like the All-State Arena or the Spectrum Center. No, it's like the beach.
Yeah.
Unrelated, a similar thing happened. All right, so remember when the cathedral in Notre Dame was burning down, Notre Dame or something. And the under status in Wikipedia, it was on fire. Like, it was Johnny on the spot with that.
Ablaze.
Up to date.
Wow. There.
Zuckerberg is on his shit, okay? If a building's on fire, he'll put it on its status.
Just on fire.
Breaking. I gotta switch over here now. Edit my Wikipedia page on the Notre Dame Cathedral.
Burning because you're in this room with no air conditioning?
Right. Oh, man. Where's the location of this podcast? Seventh layer of hell.
But attendance for the show, according
33 million people.
According to Wikipedia, is 1,900. According to Tony Schiavone,
1,900?
Millions.
1,900.
No, excuse me. 9,500.
Okay. Fit better.
Yeah.
1,900 people. I think you get that anywhere nowadays.
No.
Probably that many in Iowa.
95. That was a little joke there. Tagline: an event so hot they had to put it on the beach.
Is it not hot because it's on the
Right.
beach?
You would think they put it like inside with air conditioning.
Yeah. Event so hot we had to use AC.
Right. But that's every...
Called Bash at the Civic Center.
Yeah. Or all the other bashes at the beach that took place indoors.
Yeah.
So.
They couldn't just bring in a whole bunch of sand like they would do pumpkins at a Halloween show.
An event so hot we had to have it in the Arctic. It would be really cool.
Yeah.
And there was also some matches that we didn't get to see.
There's a shit ton of matches we didn't see.
Because
and they all lasted 3 minutes.
Well, it was a WCW main event show, which is basically like their version of Sunday Night Heat.
Yeah.
Before there was a Sunday Night Heat. And those matches were Sergeant Craig Pittman versus Chris Kanyon, who we see later in the Lumberjack match. And then we also see Road Warrior Hawk versus Mark Starr.
We also see, not Mark Starr, but
we do. We actually do see Mark Starr. He's in the Lumberjack match.
Quick question. Were they doing a play on words by calling it a lifeguard match? Is that what was going on? Because I was so confused. Like, we're going to have a lifeguard match. Like that.
There's a bit of a Baywatch connection. I'll bring it up when we get there. But yes, Lumberjack Lifeguard is basically what they were going for.
Okay.
It's one of the big advertisements.
There were no lifeguards during that lifeguard
They were
match.
just dressed like lifeguards.
Well, no, I mean, like, they came out, but then they started fighting, and they were just like, well, who are these guys? The lumberjack. Like, what happened to the lifeguards? I thought the lifeguards were supposed to... Okay, I guess it makes sense, liability.
Well, they changed it up, because normally lumberjack matches where everybody's around the ring and then the guy falls out,
Didn't know.
throw him back in.
Didn't know.
But since they're on the beach,
Topical.
lifeguards.
Right. Okay.
So.
As someone who's never seen either version of that, just watching, just like, all right, I mean,
I know you didn't get the first reference, and you definitely didn't get the second reference. I said words at your face, and you're still just as lost.
You're real smiley about it. I really appreciate that.
I really appreciate
I don't get it, but fuck it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rock and roll.
Just rolling with it.
All right.
Just living it.
Oh, goodness. I feel like things have turned now.
No, I was actually on your side. I loved your outfit. Like, hey, man, I don't know, but fuck it.
Yeah, like you.
I'm in.
That's why you're part of the Third Timer Club.
That's right. That's why you're one of the best.
Well, shucks, guys. I'm just so glad to be here.
Stick around and we can just talk to you about our next thing. You'd be the 4-Timer Club.
Well, speaking of people that are just happy to be there, in match number 3 of the WCW main event was Dirty Dick Slater and Bunkhouse Buck taking on the American...
Not at all. One half of the American males.
Because when we originally were thinking about doing this show, I was flipping through the results, which you were just doing at the beginning of this podcast. See, I did it a month ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think we should do Bash at the Beach 1995 because the American males are on it.
Yeah.
And then come to find out, they were not on it because it was on WCW main event. And then I was like, okay, well, we can probably watch that match and then discuss that on the show. But then I realized, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. It's Marcus Bagwell and Alex Wright.
Though one of my favorite WCW wrestlers back when I was watching it was Alex Wright.
Yeah.
So I'd have been equally as stoked.
I wanted to find the match, but that's pretty much the whole reason why we're doing this podcast today.
Because you thought the American males were there?
Yes, because the American males, so you could shit all over them. If you wanted, if you got a diatribe.
I'm just going to call them out.
Okay, you're just going to call
Looking for you, Scotty Riggs. Talk about me on Twitter. I'm coming at you, dog. Me and Caleb Conley. You and Buff Bagwell. Y'all ain't shit. You're going down. New American males. Revolt.
You have that, like, loaded, ready to go.
I got hotness with them.
In quite a way. You're about ready to do a run-in on him, just like Vader did a run-in on that match at the end.
Oh, good.
Beat the shit out of Marcus Bagwell and Alex Wright.
You ain't seen nothing yet, Marcus Bagwell.
So,
you're going to wish it was Vader. Vader now. And Vader then.
But anyways, we get to the main card. This pay-per-view is sponsored by Slim Jim.
Yeah, it is.
And you know what's surprising?
A lot of shit was sponsored by Slim Jim back then.
Yeah.
Because of
They were huge.
Yeah.
You know what I find is fascinating? Like, I will run into somebody and we'll start talking about wrestling and I'll be talking about Macho Man Randy Savage and they have no idea who he is.
Until.
And then I'm like, okay, well, you didn't watch wrestling. So I'm like, maybe I'm going to take a chance. I'm like, hey, you remember the guy from the Slim Jim commercial? And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What?
Like, you don't even know Macho Man from, like, the Slim Jim commercial?
Do you know what a Slim Jim is?
And I have no idea who those people are because I've blocked them out of my memory
you
forever.
should.
Because you don't exist in my world anymore.
No.
If you can't even recognize Macho Man Randy Savage from the Slim Jim commercials. And also, too, like, there are newer wrestling fans that I tell that to, and they're like, he was sponsored by Slim Jim? I'm like, fuck's sake.
You love the business or not?
Yeah. Just like I always tell people, like, I was talking to somebody and they didn't know who Outlaw Ron Bass is.
Well, I mean, that's a little bit more understandable.
But that's usually the question I ask to get on this podcast. I'm like, are you a wrestling fan? And like, well, kind of started during the Attitude Era. And my question is always like, do you know who Outlaw Ron Bass is? And they're like, no. I'm like, do you know who the Young Bucks are? And they're like, no. I'm like, all right, you're perfect.
You're good to go.
You're good to go. But
I would love for them to know who Ron Bass was, but not who the Young Bucks are.
that would be great.
That'd be the best one. Like, I don't know who the Young Bucks are, but I love Ron Bass.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Once again, saying words at Brian's face. Brian is just here. He's off in a corner, much like he was for the intro of this
like
podcast.
a real Lando Calrissian. Like, it's cool.
It's cool.
Cool on the other side of the
I can't
pillow.
believe you. Crazy guys knowing this guy, but not the other guy.
Yeah, these motherfuckers don't know who Ron Bass is.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Assholes.
Motherfuckers.
But you know what that isn't cool is the Vader Roadkill Tour.
Yeah.
Imagine being one of those guys where Vader just showed up at random shows.
Just beat the fuck out of you safely.
And actually, like when we booked him for WrestleCon, that's what we had him all for all those dates, and it was to build to a match with Necro Butcher.
Oh.
And we were going to be like, hey, Vader's going on his 2010 Roadkill Tour. And it was going to build to this Toronto match with Necro Butcher where he just completely jobbed out Necro Butcher.
Right
but
on.
it was just supposed to be him come out and just murder people on his way to Necro Butcher, and then he didn't give Necro Butcher shit. And that's why #fuck Vader. So
Alrighty.
there should be probably a couple more of those throughout. But before we get there, we need to talk about the Sting and Meng video as a hype.
We do.
Talking about Meng.
Oh man.
Knowing 7 different
Wait,
levels.
yeah. No, it was 9, and I was like, okay, how many is impressive for martial arts? Because I don't actually know.
Because it moves. So, like, it's 9, it was 7.
Yeah.
It's all about he protects his master, which...
Weird.
Especially when his master is just like a slave owner.
And
like,
his
that's
master,
weird.
That was his massa. Like,
Massa.
He didn't teach him any martial arts.
I'm glad you said it. I'm not allowed to say that. So you said it. I did not. That was Bryan Penn saying it, not Jake Manning.
Yeah, massa is... I would never say massa. I would never do that. That was...
Really good Jake impersonation.
That is. And I'm a hard one to impersonate.
You
So.
can impersonate Jake, turn that AC up a little bit. Is that
All right.
is that not welcome in this house?
Also, too, you could...
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Some O's.
Oh yeah.
All right, so body positive martial artist comes out, and I'm all cool with that. And that's great, but the problem is he's doing his things. His like it sounds like beatboxing, like his breathing's just. And then I had the thought, he's not Asian. Like immediately, that's not an Asian person. But they're like booking him as like this karate Japanese. Doge, like, no, they found a Samoan and like just called him Meng. Like that's because they knew in '95 no one knew what Samoa was, so they had to call him Asian. And I didn't realize that was a prelude of what's to come. And so
He's Tongan, okay? Like there's a difference.
There's a difference.
where's that?
Tonga, the Isle of Tonga.
The Isle of Tonga.
Probably real close to Samoa.
Probably a little closer to Asia, I think.
Yeah, more so than other.
More so than others. But let's talk about this Sting interview before the match.
Oh, Sting's on it.
He name checks Mark Johnson and Jamie Pugh.
Who?
That was what I said. So I did a little bit of research and Googled those names.
Yeah.
I thought, like, oh, he's referring to the beach. Maybe he's talking about famous surfers.
Weightlifters. Okay.
Weightlifters, surfers, something. Nothing of the sort.
Oh, good. One's a dietitian and the other is a NASCAR driver.
Close. Mark Johnson, North Carolina Superintendent of Public Instruction, is all I could get.
I don't think that's who he's talking about.
Or legendary hockey coach, Mark Johnson. That is all that comes up with Google.
What hockey team did he coach?
Various, I think, like college and small teams.
Was any of them from California?
Nope.
Okay.
And then Jamie Pugh, I got somebody who performed on the British version of America's Got Talent.
Yeah, probably that
as a
person.
singer. And
Just knew in advance.
a New Zealand boxer.
All right, next time I see Sting.
Right.
And I even well, maybe these guys are surfers or something. So I put in like Mark Johnson surfer.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh.
So just for clarification, Sting is the one who looked like Ivan Drago and the villain from Blade Runner combined with a bit of a Wisconsin thing going.
Which, ironically enough, one of his original tag team names was the Blade Runners, right?
Yeah.
With
Okay.
Ultimate Warrior.
There you go.
I gotta say, besides Hulk Hogan, I have seen none of these people.
Really?
I have heard of 2 of them.
What
right?
2?
Sorry, 3 of them.
Craig Pitbull Pittman.
Let's guess. Let's
okay.
Which 3s he's heard.
Oh, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no. You said you've heard of 3 of them. Does
I've
Hulk
heard
Hogan
of 3
count
of them.
in the?
Hulk Hogan counts.
Okay,
and
and Ric Flair.
Okay.
1 of them.
Macho Man?
No.
No. Do you know what Slim Jim's was?
I never. Well, I was
Kevin
2
Sullivan.
again, but then I saw. All right, so my entire knowledge of Hulk Hogan is from Rocky 3.
Is it Dennis Rodman, or are you going to say Dennis Rodman?
Oh my gosh! Later,
we'll get there
later. So much. No, I had never seen Macho Man Randy Savage's face. Or if I had never seen it with the caption, "This is Macho Man Randy Savage," for me to like make the connection.
What is he, Slender Man to you? Like
Slender Man. I'd never seen him. No one had ever been like, "Hey, Brian, this is Macho Man Randy Savage." Okay, I'd only seen parodies.
Okay.
And people.
I'd only seen him on Mad TV.
Right, I've only seen people point to other people, be like, "That guy looks like Macho Man." That's it. So I had an idea.
And you politely laughed.
Yeah, he does.
He sure does. He looks like a gas station superintendent, but whatever.
Right. But the thing is, he's been parodied so much, I had a pretty good idea.
Yeah, so when you saw him, you're like, oh, probably
all checks out. Now let's talk about Ric Flair, though.
Okay.
Not what I was expecting at all. Like,
all right.
At all. I mean, for so much. Never heard of the Nature Boy as a nickname, and then.
No, I'm just not sure what that means either. So.
Yeah, he had his woo was a little windier than I thought it was. You know,
yeah.
I don't know if it was age, and then like and he had a real Gary Busey vibe. Was that?
I can see that's good. That's a good reference.
That's a good one.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Analogy.
I don't know what I was thinking.
So those are the three you knew?
Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Then I just assumed that the last fight was going to be Randy Savage versus Hulk Hogan because those were the two I was most familiar with.
Why wouldn't they be?
Right. Then some fat guy comes out of nowhere like, "I'm big and I'm Vader. I'm going to kill you." And I'm like, okay, I guess.
Looks nothing like Darth Vader.
That's nothing at all. No, got this BDSM mask on for some reason, and then a different thing on like besides that.
This is Mastodon football shoulder pad.
I guess, yeah. This weird rhino beetle thing. Elephant beetle, yeah.
Which I think is actually a take on an anime character, Vader.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Is it Vader? Like I'm almost 100%. That's like a cartoon, and that's what he's based off of.
Just a big butterball. I mean, he looks mean. I wouldn't want to fight him. But
you could probably take him. At least today.
Definitely now.
Oh, that sounds sad.
I mean, it depends on if it's me or Jake you're talking to.
Yeah, exactly. We're on different sides of the fence on that one.
Oh man, wow.
So
mine's hashtag thanks Vader.
Oh, mine's hashtag fuck Vader. So we gotta get that hashtag over.
All right, that's what I had to think about.
Mark out.
All right. Well, what are your thoughts on match number 1 after seeing Sting and Meng?
Review. Oh, okay. So first off, they've got that interview with the dad from Speed Racer. That was cool. / Mario.
Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yeah.
Okay. That was his name. There was one line that he said. Right. His weight unknown. Unknown weight. 285, 315. Who can say? Like you could just look at him.
But there are bigger people and smaller people weighed out normally.
Yeah, and so like, why is his weight unknown? And I don't know.
Why is it the most mysterious part about him? Like parts unknown, I get it.
Right, but weight unknown.
You could figure that. Like jump on a scale before you walk out here.
Down.
You could carnival guess this.
You
like,
could.
You know,
you
315.
Really
I'd give him a 325.
I said like somewhere 300. You know, just a tall guy, big. I don't know. It was funny how they were like, "That's the weight unknown." I'll get it within 20 pounds. Like that.
So his blood type. Am I supposed to be surprised here?
I think. Okay, yeah. What I thought about the fight. Okay, so one really romantic bromance with the ref. Was that just? And it just seemed like he was
some sexual tension.
Shh, it's okay. Like the whole time, and not with any. I thought maybe he's gonna do that the whole time. No, just this guy. It was just with Meng. I was like, that's weird. There was one fantastic moment with like the flying just face kick.
Okay.
And I had the thought, if that's all pro wrestling was, I'd watch pro wrestling. If it was just flying face kicks, yes, I would do that.
I mean, it's not far from that.
Okay. There were no more flying face kicks.
That was the only flying face kick I saw, so.
At 3 hours, that was the one. So
can't argue.
But that was cool. Whose shoulder pads? Who was that guy? Some guy came out with just spiky shoulder pads.
Road Warrior Hawk.
That's at the end of the match?
End of the match, yeah.
At the end, okay. I didn't
protect
wanna,
Sting.
Yeah. I just remember the announcer was like, yeah, they don't want to mess with him with those shoulder pads. It's like, what if that's why he wears them? Like, there's all these people who want to mess with him, but it's like, he's got those shoulder pads. They stick you.
I'd have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for you and your pesky shoulder pads.
Let's work with the Hawk. He's got them shoulder pads.
You know, Hawks are known for their spikes.
Yeah, he's got shoulder talons.
Just don't need
Is that his catchphrase? Like,
just don't need a turkey leg around him, guys.
He does like a little shoulder shimmy. It's a signature attack.
Zane, what are your thoughts on match number 1?
I always forget, and I'm always pleasantly reminded how amazing Meng is.
Yeah.
He's so good. I was taken aback by the amount of on the rope and clean breaking that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bit, I don't know, I felt that was like eating a lot of time we didn't need to do. But, I mean, for the most part, I'm not a big Sting fan of any era. But this match, I was very happy with it. I liked it. Sting looked great, or Meng looked great. And it's really
Other than maybe the roll-up being the shittiest roll-up?
Yeah, of all time.
All time?
Some weird reverse cowgirl situation.
Like a paralyzed Stone Cold Steve Austin had a better roll-up on Owen Hart at SummerSlam? Like,
I always love to see Colonel Parker out there. Massa or not.
Was this the one? I don't remember where like they were really concerned about the sand, or is that the next one?
That's the next one.
That's the one for
next
Jack
one.
match,
But
wasn't it?
before we get to that, let's talk about Michael Buffer doing the intros.
Does he have a bullhorn?
I don't remember him having a bullhorn, but I might have been trying to look up where the fuck Scotty Riggs is at the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm always wondering where Scotty Riggs is.
I mostly want to bring up the fact that, like, the introduction, like, Sting's main credit was Star of Thunder in Paradise.
Yeah, that wasn't even his show.
No, he was on an episode or two.
Yeah.
He was on a couple episodes. But also, too, like, you remember what Meng was wearing, right?
Yeah,
in this
his
match.
black pants.
Michael Buffer said standing in the ring wearing gold and aqua. Meng.
Okay, buddy.
Don't think he was wearing gold and aqua.
No,
Matter of fact, I don't think anybody was wearing
I don't think Sting
gold.
was either.
Sting wasn't either.
he's wearing orange.
So, yeah, I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
Also gave this really long backstory into Meng. Also, too, in the middle of this match, you have the Baywatch camera.
Yeah.
Right on the fucking apron, right in the goddamn way. And I guarantee somebody in the truck was like, get that motherfucker off the apron right now. Because he had the largest fucking camera of all time. And he was right there in the fucking apron. Right in the fucking way.
The apron?
So there's like the inside of the ring.
Yeah.
And then there's the ropes.
Yeah.
And there's that little bit of ring that goes past the ropes.
Okay.
That's the apron.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Where the ring aprons are.
Okay.
Like later in the tag match where there's guys wrestling in the ring and there's the one guy on the outside of the tag.
Mm-hmm.
Where that guy on the outside standing is called the apron.
Got it.
This is why we have you here.
That's right. You're the best.
I hope that there's somebody watching or listening, who like just who's wondered for years and has been too embarrassed
and you're
to ask.
asking the questions.
And this
that
is
need
for
to be asked.
myself, but benefiting them.
That person.
Bryan Penn, never afraid to ask a question.
No, the hard-hitting questions.
Always.
What's the apron?
It was weird that everyone was the master of something.
Mm-hmm.
Like we always know Ric Flair was the master of the figure four. That's never been a question.
No.
But everyone was some sort of master or something. And then some people are the master of multiple things.
Well, Ric Flair was also the master of your MasterCard. So,
Master of lawsuits.
Specifically your MasterCard.
Yeah.
Your MasterCard. There's a weird, like, Meng, normally when you grab a single leg crab or a double leg crab, you got one leg under one pit and one on the other, or you just grab one leg under one pit. But Meng grabbed like both of them and put them both under one arm.
Hey.
And I was like, I don't know if this is the most fucking manliest thing, or he just didn't know how to do it.
He's not 100% sure.
Yeah, I was 100% sure.
Not sure where Meng lies in the understanding of English at this time.
But that's all I wanted to say about that.
There was one moment, it looked like Sting was preparing for like a nut bite attack. Like, it seemed like he was just gonna go for it. And I was like, if he does, I might watch pro wrestling. If he just bites his nuts and does not let go.
All I want is nut bitings and flying face kicks.
Yes, I do.
Bryan Penn Pro
I'm not
Wrestling.
even gonna dispute that.
That's all I want.
If it was just two people trying to flying face kick and bite nuts for like 3 hours, I mean, how is he gonna do it this time? Who knows?
You tell me all the wrestling moves that you enjoy, and the next match I have, I'll invite you, and I'll just do all the moves you like.
Just specifically, like
just for you.
in an interactive match.
Yeah.
Wherever that thing is, I'm coming. I'll get a bus.
Well,
Take a bus.
I won't fly out, but I'll.
I'm surprised that you still like flying face kicks, because the next match is full of really bad flying face kicks from the Renegade.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, real quick. technically professionally bad or like uninteresting?
But A, but B.
They're interesting to see because I've never seen anybody just like jump as high as the Renegade and just be like, I'll try and mule kick you in midair.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I would
just
love
flail
that.
with
Yeah,
it.
it's I don't know.
Okay,
Like,
well-
even if it misses, like, hey, he went for it.
Well, nice to know the Renegade's for you because I remember like watching the Renegade and because I really enjoyed the Ultimate Warrior. I wouldn't say he was my favorite, but I enjoyed him growing up. And when they had the Renegade, you know, being a poor kid, I'm used to having generic stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, this is just the generic
Fruit
version.
Puffs and Chocolate Puffs are the same thing.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well,
What?
Cocoa Puffs.
Fruit-
Cocoa Puffs
he
and
just
Chocolate
listed
Puffs.
two
Two different things.
different generic things.
Yeah.
yeah, not only did we go generic on stuff, we just went different type of cereal altogether. You know?
And generic.
And the generic version. Like, we would buy the name brand
Dino Stones.
Dino Stones would have done.
and Frosted Flakes.
And
You know,
Honey
like-
Smackers. Here we
Dino
go.
Stone berries.
Um,
Honey Flicks. Take some
And Colonel's Crunches.
Colonel's Crunches.
Colonel Parker's Crunches.
Colonel Parker's Crunches. Boy, had a huge dick out here.
They're all dick shaped.
He used to crunch a lot of something else.
Crunching push left and right.
What if you called it crunching? What, crunch that puss. as
Crunch that
opposed to
puss. You see that girl over there? Crunch that puss. So, all right, ladies out there, in the future, if we're ever in it, but I just want you to know, I'm telling all my friends I crunch that puss.
So if you ever want that puss crunched, come
Yeah,
to
you know who to find me. Find me on Instagram and all the social
At
media.
the Puss Cruncher, all social, all one word.
Papa Riley Puss Crunch. It's going to be my new fucking... Write that out at the next Queens of Combat show.
I feel like this is a bad day to bring up the fact that we need to have more females leaving reviews on this podcast.
Nah, man.
But just to remind you,
What's up, ladies?
the bad reviews
Yeah.
equal all the same as well.
Boys-
So it's all about conversation about
Boys
the podcast.
get free shirts, girls get Papa Riley date.
Even if it's a 1-star review.
That's all you need.
Which happened a lot in the Renegade's career. And
Specifically in this match.
most
Okay,
specifically-
so the Renegade, there was is this the Mr. Wonderful?
Yes.
Yes.
And then the other one was the I forgot to
Mr.
write that.
Oneedreful.
Yeah, and
Down.
like I said, I was kind of into the Renegade when I first saw him. Like, yeah, it's like the generic version of the Ultimate Warrior. I can get behind
I
this.
don't remember what he looks like
And then,
Like right now or like as a child?
right now. I certainly
Okay.
didn't as a child.
Okay.
Never knew. But I remember Mr. Wonderful for just eyebrows.
yeah. But I remember the day that I turned on the Renegade was the day that Arn Anderson lost to him on WCW Saturday Night in like 30 seconds.
Ooh.
And I was like, yeah, fuck this shit. You don't do that shit to Arn Anderson.
Yep.
Like, because Arn Anderson, Brad Armstrong, Bobby Eaton, those were my favorites during this era of WCW. And I had no acknowledgement of their prior careers.
Yeah.
Like, my first exposure to Bobby Eaton was him being a blue blood.
So you fucking love it here in a minute.
Oh, yeah. I was in heaven for that match. And then Brad Armstrong being a jobber on WCW Saturday Night. And then Arn Anderson just being the man here in 1995.
Being Arn Anderson.
And then fucking when he lost to the Renegade, I go, fuck the fucking Renegade.
Fuck the Renegade.
Which is kind of what the audience did to him when he came out. And
Yeah.
people were super behind Paul Orndorff. And apparently, I guess the Renegade also beat Stunning Steve Austin on
Yeah.
his way to here. So that's
On his Roadkill tour,
very interesting as well.
which is a fun name to hear pop up in WCW.
Yeah, like oh, he jobbed to the Renegade, and then he turned out to be the biggest star in the industry. That's what you did with him.
You know who
Wow.
Steve Austin is?
I have heard of Steve Austin.
Okay.
I've heard the name Steve Austin, yes.
So you wouldn't know his face if you saw him?
I would not know his face if I saw him, no.
Not if it
It's
was
right
like,
over behind your shoulder right now, by the way.
Or literally directly in your face.
Yeah.
Jake's got it on his shirt.
Yeah,
Ugh.
You
Wow,
Stone
bald.
Cold. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm wearing my Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt.
Looks
and,
a lot like
and,
Jake Manning.
I was about to say, looking like Stone Cold
crossed
Steve Austin.
with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
And then I
You
have
get
a
Stone Cold.
poster of
great.
him just behind you.
Ah, I see.
So you were
I
basically
now-
surrounded by
You're-
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You're in a
How
dude
would I have
gangbang.
known? How would I have known?
but you have no idea who
No.
it is. No.
Look at this Stone
just-
Cold Circle Jerk.
This is just a face. There is a face on your shirt.
He looks like just a different racist white man.
And the fact that you've never known Macho Man Randy Savage is also behind you are 3 pictures that contain Macho Man Randy Savage.
Okay, again, I had a really good idea of what he looks like.
And all of those look like it.
Yeah, so I wouldn't know, basically, looking on those, even right now. But, long hair, big.
Big orange letters that say Macho Man just above the actual picture of him.
Yeah.
Exactly
what you thought it looked like.
Yeah, that matches. Yeah, with the thing and stuff. Yeah, but no, I've heard of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yes.
Okay. Well, now you've seen 2 pictures of him.
Dwayne. Well, I listed people who I had seen in this particular thing. I was about to say Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I was like, no, that doesn't count because I've seen him in his movies. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. You're doing real good.
You're doing great.
I love having you.
Just like Paul Orndorff was doing a great job trying to.
He's doing his best.
What are your thoughts on this match, Brian?
Okay, so here we go. Eyebrows. This is the first thing I noticed. Mr. Wonderful. Interesting. Name choice there. He looks like everyone's dad. And it was around this time I had the thought, the Slim Jim challenge should just be people eating Slim Jims, right? Like, no one had eaten a Slim Jim the whole time. But we'll get there. And then there was a moment when he spat in the crowd and they cheered. Is that good or bad? I don't understand.
It depends on how drunk you are.
Okay.
And what kind of shit you're into.
Or how much you hate the fucking Renegade.
Yeah.
Yes, Paul Orndorff, him. We like him.
He didn't spit at the Renegade. He just spat at everybody.
I know, but that's the thing. Like, you're like, I should boo you right now, but I fucking hate the Renegade so much. That...
Spit in my mouth.
Baby bird me, Mr. Wonderful.
Baby bird me, Mr. Wonderful. Oh, that on a t-shirt.
if we were over like other podcasts, we would have that as a shirt. Baby bird me, Mr. Wonderful.
Great. At some point, the announcer just becomes so concerned with the well-being of the skin of both individuals. Like, that skin's gonna mess him up. And I thought, oh yeah, Sand Attack's coming.
Yep.
I think he did. Yeah, he used Sand Attack. It was super effective.
It was. Sand Shrews also.
Yeah, just like his Pokemon references, Jake. You have my look right now.
You're saying words in my face, and I'm just gonna politely laugh.
It's
like that one time I called that guy the Coachella version of Macho Man Randy Savage. You just politely laughed at that one time.
Did that happen?
Yeah, that did.
You were there. Thanks.
Yeah, you were there.
Okay. Yeah. Then there were a couple BJ poses, and I don't know if that was what he was going for. 95, so I didn't think so. People weren't that cool with it. But just like holding him there, and I'm sure he was hyping the crowd up for some sort of attack, but from my perspective, it looked like, look what I got him doing.
You thought that would have been a perfect time for one of those dick bites.
Yeah, that would have been.
A sack bite.
Because it was right there, but I guess...
That's a good reversal.
I don't know if my mind just went to a dirty place, but it looked like just...
Blowjobs.
But it happened twice. It happened 2 times. I think there was a moment when they were saying, like, I don't know where he gets this energy from. And I just wrote cocaine. It's cocaine. It's all cocaine.
Drugs.
Yeah, like what's...
I mean, we're on the beach.
Yeah, what?
You find it.
Is that where you do it?
No.
You do it.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
And that's where you get it in Puerto Rico. That's
getting it.
That's where Fletch from... Fletch Lives got from the original Fletch, because Fletch Lives was the sequel. So.
I guess the only thing I had left was I really wanted Renegade. I wanted Renegade to fight for the rest of the match blind, but win, like just flail his way to victory. Like,
well, they would have booked it in '95. They would have booked that for sure.
Yeah, like that would have been fantastic, and like just stayed blind for like a season or something. I don't know. Just became like this. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the match thing?
God bless getting him up that fucking pile driver.
Oh, I know. But he had the whole crowd behind him. They really wanted to see that pile driver.
Yeah, that's really all I took from him. Was like, fuck this pile driver.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, he came back and did something after the fucking finish. Wasn't it like some really shitty drop kick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck him.
Yep.
Love Paul Orndorff. God bless that man for getting that fat fuck up on a pile driver. Or that jacked motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad it's over.
Yep. But then once you see what happens next, which is a Kamala WCW vignette.
Man.
With the Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
The Dungeon Master. Okay. Note number 1. The fuck. Note number 2. Zool. Like, oh my gosh. So Drax the Destroyer starts talking.
Fat Drax.
Fat Thanos. I wrote Fat Thanos under there. And then one of the stone-faced men from freaking... just ridiculousness. I have no idea what's happening. He's just yelling. Like, that's how they talk. They're just yelling. Like, is that how just casual conversation? Like, what do you want for lunch today? I will have... And that's going on. And
Your
then,
car or mine in the carpool
Yeah.
lane, Kevin Sullivan.
I can't really. I'm trying to unpack what's happening, and then he's like, "All right, this person I have for you, son," weird, is like he's walked across the Sahara Desert. I think nothing of this, right? A well-traveled individual.
Yeah.
He's slain his foes from the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. I'm like, oh no, 2 African references.
There's a racial thing coming up, isn't there?
I wrote, how racist is this about to get?
Very.
That's very.
Yeah, the answer came.
Oh my god. So much. Okay, so he just this fat tummy drumming. Like, I don't, just he's got this skeleton thing, and there's like, all of his lines are, this mongoloid, I don't know how else to describe it, black skeleton baby guy shows up.
You said it, not us.
And then, like, there's a moment where he's like nestling his head onto the, I don't know, fat Thanos, and that's weird. Why? What's their relationship? What's going on? I don't understand. It was so much. It was just so much.
I'm his uncle!
Who was that guy? Like, I mean, I know
Curtis
who he was,
IK.
characters. I didn't know he was...
Curtis IK.
Okay.
Legendary talker in the business.
He's a very good talker.
Very, very good talker. He get into character. Actually, wrestled in, I think, Polynesian Championship Wrestling, whatever, like The Rock's, Maiavia's promotion out there, like in Hawaii and stuff like that. He used to wrestle out there a lot. And actually, there's a famous story where the tape for the television show broke, like all the matches they recorded for TV, and they're like, oh shit, we're not gonna have a show today. And Curtis IK is like, don't worry, we'll have a show. And he ended up cutting a promo for like the remainder of the show. It was like 30-minute long promo of just that on somebody, and just spun this story, and people were like, this is the most incredible thing we've ever seen before. This man was able to hold an audience for that amount of time because he was so good.
Yeah.
But then, of course, when he gets here, he's like, "Oh, the Ugandan giant, Kamala."
Black people are plaything.
Here's a question. Why isn't his weight unknown? Just between him and Meng. You know, I don't understand.
One seems more astronomical than the other.
I guess. Does it?
No, you think that Uganda giant would be larger than, yeah.
Yeah.
It's bigger than Ming.
I guess, I don't know. Then some guy shows up. Just some guy with a piece of wood shows
Hacksaw
up.
Jim Duggan.
Yeah.
Gets that
Okay.
promo.
America's man.
Why?
Because America's got to take care of this Ugandan giant.
And I had to laugh. Right. And I had to laugh at myself like, well, what's the ref going to say about that 2x4? I don't know if he's going to be, so that happened. And the announcer's just like, oh, yeah, this guy's dangerous. He's unorthodox. He's unpredictable. He's black. Like, he didn't say he's black, but, like, those were his substitutions for that. I don't know.
He's a savage.
He's a savage. Like, is he going to eat him? I don't know. And then, like, it was all billed, like, this guy, Africa, Voodoo Man versus America.
Yeah,
and
all of it.
A lot of USA chants. And I'm like, I don't know if you want to own this one. That's, ooh, boy.
You couldn't own that in 2019.
Yeah.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan doesn't work as a new character today, just as you remember him.
Okay.
You can only see him in legend shows and still let it go, but there couldn't be a new Hacksaw Jim Duggan today.
I had 2 thoughts at
Yeah,
this point.
you're right. There wouldn't be. Because you definitely can't.
How racist is this gonna get? Because it occurred to me that it wasn't. This isn't it. This isn't done.
Let me show you.
And then, wow, what was it? What was this guy's direction? You know, like what?
It's my motivation.
Right. What was he told to do? What was that conversation
Just slap
like?
your belly and act like a savage.
Right. Act like a traditional African Ugandan man. Well, who was that? I don't know. It was. I wasn't really upset. I was just like, this is happening. This exists. Wow.
What else about the match? Just
There's more, but not much more, but a little bit more.
well, they get it all out.
There was a match? This is all just exposition.
I'm just trying to help you out.
This is probably like the first black people some of these kids have ever seen.
Yeah, so they grow up assuming that all black people are this way?
Not all, not even half, but like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I was like a little kid up on someone's shoulders like, this is the first black person this little kid has ever seen. And it's Kamala going, like, that's awful.
He sees a black guy later. Just, to him.
Oh God!
Right?
Daddy, a monster.
Walks up to Michael Jordan at the time, or Scottie
Yeah.
Pippen.
Dennis Rodman, maybe.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman.
There was
Another
this one
Chicago
moment
Bull.
Yeah, yeah.
Walks up to Horace Grant.
No. Bill Cartwright.
There was one moment.
PJ Armstrong. He's too small.
I remember there was one thing. It's like, it's amazing that he can even communicate with Kamala. It's like, it's amazing that Kamala understands English. Wow, it's fantastic. Goodness gracious.
He's a savage.
I'm just glad he won. I'm just, like,
It's
all right.
about time America ate shit, huh?
I'm not that glad he won, but there's a little 1%
Well,
there.
with the assist from the Zodiac, anything's
Yeah.
possible.
With all these other
It
ones,
was everywhere, this show.
all these other fights, I've got all these notes, and most of them, like, I'll talk. This
Yeah.
one's like, no.
The whole thing. We're
The
getting
whole
all of it
thing.
in there.
Oh my goodness, it was so much. It was so much.
My favorite part of this entire match is Kamala has Hacksaw in a bear hug, and Hacksaw has this look on his face of like, all right, everybody, this is where you cheer, and no one's cheering, and so he's getting them all this like, all right, come on, and he just puts his hands out and gives them the, all right, this is the time. Not even like acting like he's in pain or anything. He's like,
Yeah, that was awkward.
here we go.
I saw that.
And then when they start to cheer, then he acts like he's in pain. And that was genius. I don't know why that tickled me so much. Oh, God.
Something that always tickles me when I look at Kamala, and I have to remember this happened in real life, and I don't think a lot of people remember this happened,
I sure
or
don't.
especially
Definitely.
don't. This is news to you, but I don't. This might be news to you as well, Zane,
might
a
be.
wrestler. Did you know?
He also ate someone's dog.
No.
What?
This
What do
is
you mean
ser-
also?
Oh.
This is a serious piece of business.
Hey, Mr. Fuji doesn't pop up on here.
Oh no.
Go on.
Kamala took on the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson,
What?
in a Ring of Honor title match.
Where?
It
Uganda.
was for a show for Liberty State Wrestling.
Okay.
And I remember this happening because they...
Imagine the best wrestler in the entire world, bar
Okay.
none.
Mm-hmm. Versus Kamala.
Kamala.
Versus what I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
last night.
Modern day best wrestler, like so the innovative things and all this like crazy
Right.
acrobatics.
Versus.
Okay.
He was like, like he was. You remember the Knockout Nest game or whatever
Yeah.
it was? That's where Kamala's from.
There you go.
But they booked that match, and Bryan Danielson was the Ring of Honor champ at the time, and then somebody online just jokingly said they should make it for the Ring of Honor title. And this was during the Gabe Sapolsky era, and Gabe's like, yeah, sure, we can do that.
Yeah.
So they had a Ring of Honor title match versus American Dragon and Kamala.
Yeah.
I searched that, and you can find it on YouTube, and you can watch that.
Oh man, is
But
it as good as it sounds?
I didn't see it, but I read an article about the event. Very interesting. The event also had Midnight Express, Crowbar, and the Rock and Roll Express, and took place in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and it drew 60 people. Another interesting note about that match, that show at least, X-Pac no-showed the event. Just to let you know. I don't want to slide that in there. There's another piece of the
Thing
fact.
for me is that another thing for me.
There's
Thank
another
you.
thing for you.
Scotty Riggs though showed up a bit
Probably.
because
Because he was looking for an ass.
he was
for
because he bought a fucking ticket trying to get a little bit of free concessions.
Yeah, so this match happens. It is what it is. I've wrestled both these men before.
You wrestled Kamala?
I've wrestled Kamala and Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh, they say Bryan Danielson.
No, I haven't.
No.
I had to double check. Like, did I? No, I did not. I did
I wrestled
not.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan as well.
Okay.
And Jake told me what our match was going to be before he did, and sure enough, Jake was correct.
I'm correct. I did that this weekend.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, "Oh, I wrestled Hacksaw," and I go, "Oh, did you know, how was the match? Let me tell you the match." And he goes, "Oh, I didn't really wrestle. I just did a run-in with him." I'm like, "You're a piece of shit. Get out of my face."
Yeah,
And I don't appreciate you trying to be my friend right
Yeah.
now.
TD?
Mm-hmm.
Is your buddy Danger Mouse?
Yep.
That's your boy.
Well, you know who's everybody's boy is Mean Gene, as he talks
Yeah,
to
Mario.
company man, Macho Man Randy Savage, decked out in Slim Jim gear. Like,
Never sell out,
That was
always
the
buy
first
in.
time. This was the first moment. I was like, oh, that's who he is.
That's what I love
That's
about
exactly
Macho
what
Man.
I thought he would look like.
Macho Man is getting all this money from Slim Jim, and how many times do people get sponsored or get a sponsorship and they just fuck it up?
Yeah.
Macho Man has never been one of those guys.
No.
You give him money, he will fucking provide to you a service that you will be happy with.
He'll be sporting you long after his contract's expired. He doesn't even know he's not sponsored anymore. He's just still doing it.
Company man, Macho Man Randy Savage. But let's move on to match number
Could have been
4.
us, Evans Country Soap.
Just
But
saying.
nope, you fucked up.
Fucked up. But who was kind of fucking up at this time was Diamond Dallas Page with the Diamond Doll and Max Muscle as he takes on
Who is Max Muscle?
just a jacked up
Okay.
dude. Nobody.
Just someone.
Just somebody.
Just
But
dude.
to me, a lot of these people are just a jacked up dude. So.
Okay.
You never got a good shot of his face, minus the entrance. And I was like, is this like Hot Boy not Hot Boy Jason. Was this like fucking Jason, the sexiest man alive, Jason? Or
There's more shots of him in Halloween Havoc 1995, which is available in the archives and we bring up. I think it's like episode 2 for us.
Okay.
So, but yeah, he had a big part in that match, not so much in this one.
Okay.
And actually, you can barely tell it's Kimberly.
Yeah,
out
she has
there.
that huge ass hat.
Yeah, and like Diamond Dallas Page has all the fucking bedazzled gimmicks in the fucking world for this match as he takes on David Sullivan.
I fucking love David Sullivan for some reason.
Well, if you want to go meet him,
No!
a little interesting.
They
piece
got a Bojangles?
Interesting piece of information about David Sullivan. One of my friends from my high school days, Jake Zane, played football at Dana College, and his football coach was fucking David Sullivan.
Wow.
And apparently, Mr. Sullivan, because every time Jake would do like an impersonation of Davis, because when he found out like oh, you're a wrestler, well, my head football coach was a wrestler. He was like Evad. I'm like, excuse me. Hey, he's your head football coach is David Sullivan.
He's like, yeah, it's him.
Yeah, it's him. And every time Jake would do an impersonation of him, he'd always have a lot of shakes.
Oh no, can't do that anymore.
But the thing is, though, he'd have a lot of shakes. Like, what's wrong with you guys? You bunch of anal tongue darts. Apparently, that's because his go-to insult is he calls people anal tongue darts.
Right on.
Which is even odder because
Otter.
David Sullivan, Evad, is now the AD at Dana College right now. He's the athletic director.
Yep, just shaking out like tongue darts.
Yep, calling people anal tongue darts for stapling his papers wrong. But actually, before he became a football coach, he was a fitness trainer at Walmart.
Right on. Wait, what?
Yep.
A fitness trainer
Yeah, that's a lot to
at
unpack.
Walmart.
At Walmart.
Who was he
Okay.
training?
I think he was in like the corporate offices
Oh,
because
okay.
he was in that
Training the
Bentonville,
employees.
Arkansas.
Okay.
Was he was based out of there? That's how that's what his Wikipedia says
Okay.
and how it's explained.
I could see the Waffle House. Sorry, the Walmart.
Same thing.
Both, yeah.
It's like the Waffle House of stuff.
Corporate. The Waffle House of stuff. I could see corporate at both places. Hiring. Oh, he's a pro wrestler. It's gonna make us big.
What can we say?
He's like, here's all these steroids, guys. And they're all right. I know somebody goes steroids.
No, I'm
this
trying to remember what the family's name. The Walsh family, or the
Waltons.
the Walton family.
I read their book.
He's probably the guy that got the Walton family on the juice. You know what I'm saying? get ready for that apocalypse so they can get in that bunker they built
Yeah.
for the entire family
Yeah.
that they have.
Hell yeah.
It's like an underground palace.
Yeah,
Now they're humbler than that.
It's just an underground
they're
Walmart.
humbler than that.
Sam Walton. I don't know about his sons or daughters, but
Crazy fucking millionaires.
Look, if they don't live on
Yeah,
the prairie, they don't give a fuck about them.
they do. They live. He like takes his dogs in the Bentley because he's from Arkansas or something.
You know, the dog Bentley. Not to be confused with the people Bentley.
I don't know why that hit me so hard.
It's because the puppers in the story.
Question is though, did match number 4 with DDP and David Sullivan hit either of you very hard?
No, God, no.
Well, someone got hit pretty hard.
Flex muscle.
Let me tell you, who's this lady? Diamond? No,
Oh,
Kimberly Page.
Okay,
Diamond
she
Doll.
made domestic abuse just seem so fun. Just nothing but laughs and tease while being smacked with roses.
Yeah.
You know, those things have. I'm sure they've been dethorned, but that's not
Like
what
the
I
big
believe.
roses. Though when they shove them in like Diamond Dallas Page's mouth later, I'm like, oh God, are there still thorns on there?
And then, Okay, here's a quote from an announcer. She'll stand in the corner and keep her pretty mouth shut if she knows what's good for her.
Bobby the Brain.
24 years ago in America. I don't have that many notes on this one. There's like 3, but I have a question.
Go.
Has any pro wrestler in the history of pro wrestling ever used a timeout? Like properly? Yeah, properly. Or is it exclusively to be like, all right, timeout, psych, eye poke? Like, has it ever actually, in your memories?
In that way that you're using it, no.
No.
Well, there's, Arn Anderson would follow the outside, and he would call a timeout.
He would call for it.
Yeah, call for it, and he's just on the outside. And you usually get it because you get back in the ring. Mm-hmm. Then there's other people that said timeout, and then they do something dirty. And then there's this boy over here would time out, and everybody would freeze.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Hey.
Like
red light, green light.
Is that your power?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm a Time Lord.
Oh. Sorry.
Get your shit together, nerd.
Him and Timothy Dalton, both Time Lords.
Me and Timothy Dalton.
The master of time, and also this guy.
And this podcast.
Well, let's move time.
Cool.
Let's move time a little forward, and let's get this. We have this next tag team match, but we start off with a promo with Mean Gene, Sister Sherry, and Harlem Heat.
I fucking love Sister Sherry.
Okay, I have questions about Sister Sherry.
Okay. She's a sister.
Is she supposed to be their sister?
I
thought she was like their owner at first.
I think sister in the sister sense.
Okay.
Not related.
Yeah, you put a little attitude on it.
Yeah.
Question number 2, is she deaf or a little bit? Hearing impaired.
Well, now she's dead, but nah.
Okay, very.
She just likes, you gotta project. You want everybody on the beach to hear it.
No one heard a word she said. Everyone heard it. No, I didn't hear a single. It was just like, there was one moment I had to take my headphones off because I was just like, I can't listen to incoherent screaming that I can't actually make sense of.
It's equal parts Southern and slurred.
It is equal part. It's all cigarette voice, like embodied in a person. It's just I was like, I can't do this. This is when you go, I don't need to be at this bus stop right now. I can walk because this person's got cats and they're coming. I don't like the verb waffle. All right,
you don't want to waffle them?
I learned that during this match. They just kept waffling. One of these guys' names is Booker T.
Yeah.
I didn't catch the other one.
Stevie Ray. Okay, but Booker T is interesting. And then the last thing I had about this was these are the second and third black people that some of these kids have ever seen. It's just, I don't know. Well, that should be the fourth because I know that Craig Pitbull Pittman happened in a house, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like in a building.
So at least you saw a serviceman, a savage,
and
then street thugs.
Right. Who like to call people stupid idiots. Like, you stupid idiots.
There was a fun time in the world of wrestling.
Yeah.
Where these two are cutting what we call a promo, which was what Sensational Sherry's or Sister Sherry's doing, screaming.
Yeah.
Booker T called Hulk Hogan the N-word on TV.
How did people play with that? Like, what do you do after that?
Well, he just went.
Like
he's like real mad.
He double face palmed himself, but
like,
luckily,
oh fuck, I didn't mean to say that.
But luckily, Sister Sherry grabbed him by the shoulder and like, it's
okay. Hogan, I'm coming for you, N-word.
Right. Which have you seen?
Probably not.
Have you seen the meme where the Raw reunion?
Yeah, or he's staring at the back of his head.
Staring at the back of his head. Like, I just love
still
it.
Coming.
I'm still coming for you, Hulk Hogan. I love every bit. Good. I love every iteration of it.
No matter when it's done.
Yeah, including like the inference, the sex tape. Like, just like, this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, just every iteration of that meme is incredible. And if Hulk Hogan is fucking cool... he would just have them recreate that all the time.
All the time.
Every time he sees Booker T, like, hey, remember that meme, brother? Let's recreate that right now.
Let's do it. I've become savvy on modern technology and their ideas.
See, Nick, he's really got me onto this technology. So, like, see, Nick's staying a porn star right now. And it's very important.
He killed a guy. We don't fucking worry about that too much.
I mean, the fact that he's dating a porn star is the least of our worries right now. I'm just saying, if you want to check out our OnlyFans account, this is the URL.
Here's her premium Patreon.
Yeah. Oh,
brother.
But it runs back to say it. Like,
yeah.
Oh, sorry, brother. All right, I gotta go.
Well, we got to keep going.
Contractually obligated to say brother after every sentence, brother.
Match number 5, Blue Bloods, which consists of Lord Steven Regal with the Earl Robert of Eaton taking on Booker T and Stevie Ray Harlem Heat, taking on Jerry Saggs and Brian Knobbs, the Nasty Boys, which I gotta say, the Nasty Boys WCW theme, far better than their WWF one.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's my hot take on something from 1995.
Are you sure that's the actual music from 95?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember that.
Because a lot of stuff they kind of changed
take
up
it
the
out of
network.
there,
But
I think it was quite
So
good.
maybe I kind of missed the deal. But there's a coin toss.
See, this is
this just a normal three-way wrestling
You got to
match?
understand, this is 1995.
So that's not a thing yet?
The idea of three-ways is just so fucking foreign to fucking professional wrestling. They don't understand. They don't know what to do. They saw ECW do a three-way match, and they're trying to recreate it, but like, we can't do this. We got to put rules to it. Like, they don't know what the fuck
just
it
to
is.
let them go.
Where now it's like, oh, fuck, we got an odd number of guys. Just make it a three-way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just so ubiquitous that it doesn't fucking
So it was
matter.
just a normal three-way. They just decided to add a coin toss.
Yeah, because they felt like they had to put rules to it, or they had to, because they didn't understand, like, why would there be three
Why
guys
wouldn't
in the
there be
ring?
3 people in the ring?
Yeah, why would there be 3 people? We don't understand. You know what I'm saying? They don't...
See, I thought that, but I thought maybe I just missed something, because it just seems like a normal tag match. But then you put it in the terms that, this was 2005, by the way.
No, 1995.
Oh, that's what I meant, 1995.
No, this was... by 2005, it was like, odd number of guys, three-way.
Three-way.
Right. Main event, three-way, every time. So...
Every pay-per-view.
Because
that shit works.
Kudos to fucking Bobby Eaton bumping for everybody, including
fucking
Sherry.
everybody.
What were your thoughts on the match, Brian?
Most of what I had was just on the Harlem Heat, everything that I had said, and then I was just watching stuff happen. Like, okay, all right, and then he's all right, cool. At this point, sometimes from the wrestling that I've seen due to this podcast, things can seem a bit arbitrary. And when things are like arbitrary, you're just like, well, then I'm just waiting for it to finish up, like
get
with
there,
the
get
count.
to the point.
And it's like, especially in the beginning part, I forget that better wrestlers are coming. I always forget that. So the beginning is what I project for the next 3 hours. Like, someone's got to count, and I'm like, it's a 50-50 shot. They decide this count counts or not.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I was watching the match. I saw the armpit thing. I was like, that's gross. It's just, it's like, come on. It's just,
Titty City.
Yeah, that's... I don't know, 3-way match, and then I was like, that's kind of clever what they did at the end there. Neat.
I love that finish.
I do too. People shit on it. I fucking love it too.
It's funny, maybe about a year ago or so, in Jacksonville, it was me, John Schuyler, and Ethan Case in a 3-way, and we were trying to do some little swervy, dusty shit to make it look like I'd won the belt, because that's kind of thing, like I was winning the belt, but then it kept getting fucked in some form, kept getting dustied. And he's like, there's this really dumb finish that this match is what he quoted, and I was like, all right, let's see it, let's hear it. And he told me, I was like, this is fucking cool.
Yeah, it's a good.
And his finish was awesome here too, and like just the timing of the reaction between when the guys winning the belt, like Nasty Boys winning, and the ref stopping it and getting it to the Harlem Heat and their reaction to it, just the timing of all that, which is really difficult when you have to this kind of screw finish.
Yeah,
I fucking love it.
Yeah, I think it's great. People shit on it, but I fucking love this one. Actually, there's one point in the match where I was like, man, this is a pretty good match.
It is.
And then fucking Nasty Boys come in and fucking make it a cluster pretty fast.
They nasty it up.
They nastied it the fuck up. But what didn't get nastied up
was didn't Eaton used to do the leg drop off the top, or is he kind of done doing that at this time?
This is like the tail end of that. Like, I think
because I know he goes up and he gives the drop. He gives the fist.
Yeah, I think he's kind of
butt hurts. Yeah, okay, cool.
I mean,
I sort of figured, but
part of the reason Hulk Hogan has a hard time walking is because of a regular ass leg drop.
Yeah.
So imagine a guy coming off the top rope with that fucking leg.
Well, that was going to get me on my topic of how I hate people to get into positions they could hit their finisher, but they hit a different move in that position. But I assume that maybe that was kind of I'd rather just hit my hand than my ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, too, he'd come off with a knee drop every once in a while, too.
Yeah.
So, but speaking of knee drops onto inanimate objects, a man who's great at that is a guy who's doing an interview. You get to see Ric Flair cut an interview.
Yeah.
Bryan Penn, what are your thoughts on this Ric Flair interview?
Okay. It was a lot to process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because it's the first time I'm seeing Ric Flair in any form at all, ever.
I mean, to keep in mind, it's not an outstanding promo, but I would say that it is a good sample.
Yeah.
Like if I was like, hey,
Not his prime.
yeah.
But he's damn close.
But I'm gonna say, like, if this was on, and like, have you ever heard of Ric Flair before? Okay, let's listen to this.
Yeah.
And like, if you weren't really paying attention to this, and you said, hey, I've never heard of Ric Flair promo, I'm like, well, this is gonna be all right. This is gonna put you much like Tomorrow Never Dies as a Bond film.
Yeah.
Like it's very middle of the road. But the thing is, everything's gonna be up from there.
If you don't know shit about James Bond, it's totally cool. Okay. He goes off on these James Bond diatribes from podcast to podcast. And I mean, like, every fucking podcast.
Okay. I mean, I've
got the Timothy Dalton reference earlier, so
I've seen way more hours of James Bond than pro wrestling.
Oh no, we showed you a lot of hours of wrestling.
Yeah, I was saying that's like
you're
9
like
hours
10 hours
of
wrestling.
That'd be a lot of movies. I don't know. But like before we got to that, there was just this little back and forth between the announcers that was just so adorable. Of like,
you guys in love with each other?
And then like, yeah, it was just the cutest thing. Somebody jack slammed someone else's father. What is a jack slam? I would like to know. Is it just a word for punch?
I guess.
Yeah, this is before our time.
Yeah, this was before our time. I mean,
What?
Bobby Heenan's talking about something that a phrase that was used in the 40s.
Jack slam.
I don't know what jack slam is.
Jack slam to the father. Okay.
You use that and pretend like you made it.
Is it jackfruit? Are we talking about vegan items? Because we are in Huntington Beach.
That's what it is.
All I know about Ric Flair's woo is what local Charlotte comic J.D. Caldwell has in his bit. That's it. That's it. But
Former guest of the show.
Yeah, his woo is much more energetic and vibrant than this Ric Flair woo.
Again, we said he wasn't at his peak.
I didn't
right
know
here.
because it was more like a. I was like, oh, is that it? I was kind of looking forward to doing it, but
his '80s woo is better than his '95 woo.
yeah, okay, that's fair, I guess.
He's got some good '98, '97 woos.
Yeah, he comes back.
Yeah,
and then he's got some good 2009 woos as well too. But there's less good woos in
the early to mid '90s.
Yes, so.
I feel like watching the interview, watching him like cut a promo. I guess is that the
good
verbiage?
job? Yeah,
appreciate it. Thank you. I'm learning. Yeah. I feel like pro wrestling's been around for about 100 years plus. You know, at this point.
Not incorrect.
And it's been getting crazier and crazier, and like everyone's like, oh no, I'll outdo you, and I'll outdo you, and after like 20 iterations of that, you get Ric Flair, and no one can even remember what the original thing was anymore. It's like irony on top of this, on top of that, on top of that, and now Ric Flair's just like, it's like, what the hell happened? It's like if you took a photo and you Xeroxed it, and you Xeroxed that Xerox over and over again. That's Ric Flair.
That's Ric Flair.
And to the point where it's his own thing, because you can't
no one else remembers
trace
another
it
woo.
back. Yeah, I don't know.
Which I always thought it weird that Sting would also woo.
He was more like, yow! Like a howl,
yeah. I gotta say, I enjoyed Macho Man Randy Savage during all of this.
Yeah.
My favorite part, he ate the Slim Jim.
He did.
Or he started tossing them out. Finally, he ate. I was really excited when I saw it.
They could arguably have given him the power to win this match.
Like, honestly, because like he's dressed like a Slim Jim, which is great. He's throwing them out like Tootsie Rolls at a parade, and like that's fantastic. He ate one, like hell yeah. At this point, I kind of want a Slim Jim. I finally like kind of want one, and I remember like what they're like, and I don't. But that was pretty cool. Was this the lumberjack match?
Yeah, this was the lumberjack.
Okay, so someone gets thrown out. I forget who, and I just had the thought, like, are they eating him? Is that what they're trying to do? Because they all.
It's a war show. That's basically what a lumberjack match is. It's just a war show.
Yeah, it was just like that was crazy. Ric Flair appears to have some sort of cyst going on in his back. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Little lump. Might have been a knot, but looked a little cysty to me.
Okay.
That was weird. Yeah, there weren't a lot of notes for this one because I noticed. It's like, oh, I'm paying attention now. Because these guys are probably better, and now I'm like engaged and not actually writing.
And you're correct.
Because my last note is just like, I like these little Rocket Power / SpongeBob little graphics in between. You can see where they got that from. So, Yeah, I don't know. I guess I was like, it's cool.
You're entertained?
Yeah, but I was confused that there were no I'm like, where'd the lifeguards go? I don't understand, because I didn't know what a lumberjack match was. It was just like, these guys are just, and I was like, I thought they were like tricking me. Like, these are just guys from earlier in this show. What's going on? Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Zane?
I hate lumberjack matches.
I do too.
Yeah. It's just because there's just so many moving parts, and it ends up looking more sloppy than anything.
And the guys outside are just dicking around.
Yeah.
Like, especially this one, like, you can clearly hear Dick Slater yell, shit! Right in the camera. Like,
Being fucked hard.
I thought I heard that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, Canyon's overselling Flair's chops in the ring.
Just walking around like a goofus.
They're trying to get themselves over, and they're trying to dick around, so...
I did like the spot with Anderson coming in there as the big falsy, but him kicking out.
Yeah,
that's what
that
I
was
said.
really
you
good.
said overselling it. It reminded me.
Fucking Flair is so goddamn tan in this match. It is ridiculous.
He's probably been on the beach a couple of days.
He's probably been there he's been there filming for so long with Baywatch.
Yeah, because this is all part of the Baywatch episode, which is part of the reason why we did this as well, and where they did this whole thing of like, you guys got to win both matches, and we can't do a best 2 out of 3 because there's only two matches on the show that will decide the fate of the Venice Beach Boys Club, which makes no fucking sense to me. Like, what if Flair wins and Hogan wins? What the fuck you do with the Venice Beach Boys Club?
I love when Bobby Heenan goes on a tear about Angelo Poffo, about got his cane stuck in the sand. He keeps going in a circle.
Yeah,
that's good.
Okay, I feel
and then
like
the 2-leg thing where they could share the same cane.
This might be sacrilege to ask, but does Macho Man Randy Savage's dad need that cane?
It's not sacrilege.
I don't know. I just felt like such a like. I don't think he needs that cane.
His dad looked like he was at the beach and then realized a wrestling show was going on and showed up. He's like, "Oh shit, that's my son."
He's like, "Oh goddamn, my boy's here."
Yeah, he looked like he was just there.
Yeah,
and you would think they'd be able to get him a better seat than just like in the middle amongst all the drunken jabrones
on the fucking aisle.
Yeah,
like,
you think he'd get front row?
Yeah, he couldn't see. There'd be no way he'd be able to see the fucking show.
Yeah, they made such a big deal about him being there for absolutely no reason. They put a gun in the first act, and that gun never went off.
Exactly. They kept bringing it up, and then like Flair at one point in time broke through the brigade of like the lifeguards, like which is not supposed to be able to be done in a lumberjack match, just to go over to Angelo Poffo to take a punch, which they didn't get a shot of.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You didn't think fucking Angelo Poffo could have just thrown him back in the ring for that double elbow?
There was one moment where, and I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Randy Savage slaps Ric Flair. Like, just it's a little tap. It's the smallest. I had to rewind because I thought I missed it. He's just like pat, and then Ric Flair like shoots himself 15 feet back. Is he supposed? All right,
vintage Flair.
Is Randy Savage just supposed to be that strong, or
he got that much mustard on it?
Yeah, just like ha, and then
also too.
No comment.
Something.
Okay,
that's Ric Flair.
That's all right. That's how he does it. But I want to fucking talk about this. So Flair takes a backdrop to the outside.
Yeah, for no reason, really.
No reason. And he's caught by the Nasty Boys, who are his friends. But I can see him in the back being like, hey, we're going to do a spot where Savage is going to backdrop me outside. Can you guys catch me? And they catch him, and he's like upside down, and they awkwardly catch him. But they did catch him, but like he put his life in the hands of the Nasty Boys. I did that one time.
I was about to say, that's very reminiscent of you.
And that motherfucker, like and I remember them, like Flair, they set him back on the apron, where Jerry Sags had me up for a pile driver, and was like, I could sit on my ass. His partner's supposed to break this pile driver up, and I could just go through with the pile driver, or just kind of throw him down. Now I'll just forcefully push his fucking head right into the fucking ground.
Right on.
Just saying, Rick, you could have picked some better guys to catch him.
Could ask Dick Slater over there to catch him, maybe.
I'm pretty sure Bunkhouse Buck and Dick Slater would have
took care of you.
Yeah. So, definitely DDP and fucking Canyon,
oh, yeah.
They would have...
They'd have rubbed you off and they put you back in.
Oh, yeah, they would have jerked you off before you got back in the ring.
Yeah. You'd be rejuvenated. You'd be ready to be Macho Man.
So... Yeah, and then I was real weird, and then like Savage like grabbed one of the Baywatch girls to put him up and show everybody like, hey, we have Baywatch, and it was just a model in a red bathing suit, but just that whole look of like, what am I supposed to do? Are we supposed to go out now?
Yeah.
Am I yours?
Dude,
She
yeah.
was
I
confused.
Are you Catholic?
She's like, did you win me? Did you win me? Like, there's that
You know, that's what the
look.
match. I know how that's how wrestling works, but I guess I believe it.
Yeah, so there's all that.
It was a good match. It'd been better if there was no lumberjacks.
Yeah.
I think they served a real purpose, minus catching Flair, I guess. Because, like, yeah, the heels kind of beat up on Savage when he went out, but, like, at no point did the babies really kind of use the lumberjack rule, even after the heels did, which is usually kind of a okay to... Mm-hmm. If the heels cheat first, you can get your comeuppance once. But they never really did, so there's never really a need for them, it didn't feel.
Yeah,
So.
it was whatever. But it was entertaining nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, Ric Flair and Macho Man are good regardless of time.
Mm-hmm. Now we're moving on to the main event.
Oh,
Of course, we got to set up a cage, which, according to the Baywatch episode, was a surprise.
It only two-sided.
Yeah.
When they put it on 4, I was like, this is dumb. This isn't how it happened.
Yeah, if you go on to the How Does Get Booked Facebook page, you see a clear picture where, like, not all 4 sides of the cage are set up. Also, check out that episode. It was a fun little episode that we did on the Baywatch episode, Bash at the Beach. But this was, like I said, this was filmed for Baywatch, and then we got big old Vader cutting, promos, but he also had to do a video where he's saying, I peg you, which, weird term.
Didn't mean the same in 95 as 2019.
Or maybe it did.
And then he did an interview with Mean Gene, and as I was listening to this interview with Mean Gene with Vader,
And you were like, fuck him.
yeah, but also too, like, I'm starting to realize why Vader didn't get over in WWE when he went over, because he says brother
Oh, man.
way too much in a promo, and there's no way they would have let him get...
It's the weirdest. It sounds like he's almost cutting a baby promo this whole time.
Brother for you, I'm coming for you, brother.
I thought he was just making fun of Hulk Hogan.
No, I don't think so. I think
No?
he's a brother guy, too.
Yeah, I don't think Leon's that creative.
Okay, I was
That
like,
much.
brother.
I don't think Leon knows what satire is.
Okay.
I'm safe to say that Vader has no clue what satire is.
Yeah, his promo was real weird.
Yeah, real
Like,
fucking weird.
not even like cocky heel put you over so I can beat you kind of thing, but like, I think he's in love with him.
Yeah. Well, he says, I peg you.
Yeah, he wanted
peg
to,
you.
He wanted to peg that guy.
Real bad. But speaking of something weird, we get an advertisement for Collision in Korea pay-per-view.
Okay, question. Did that happen?
It did.
Yeah,
It
happened before this.
Yes, but the thing is,
Because they show highlights of it.
They filmed it, and then they had to do English commentary, and then they released it as like a pay-per-view type thing afterwards.
Okay, so I'm watching this. Okay, weird large guy comes on. Apparently his name's Vader. Cool. Then I blink for a second. Okay, I turned around for a second, and Dennis Rodman is on my screen. What's happening? I don't understand. There's a list of people I did not expect to see during this whole show. Dennis Rodman is the entire list.
It
So,
just says Dennis Rodman 15 times.
right, so did that happen? I was wondering about the North Korea thing. I look over, Dennis Rodman's there. Dennis Rodman, North Korea. And I'm like, Dennis Rodman is the shadow leader of North Korea. I'm convinced now. He is, like, actually in charge of all of North Korea and has been since 95 at least.
At least.
I did not make that connection, but yeah, that is fucking weird.
What?
Yeah.
And he didn't even mention it. It was like, oh yeah, just like,
That's good.
So Dennis Rodman was the guy that had the inroads to WCW going to North Korea.
Yeah, that's your guy. Maybe that's where he met Kim
That's why he
Jong,
was there.
whatever one.
met his dad or something.
Yeah.
Dennis
And they
Rodman.
just became real good friends. Like they played ball together.
If you guys don't hear from me, like, the CIA got me because I spilled the beans that Dennis Rodman is the leader of North Korea.
And and then they take you over to North Korea, and then they do a swap for you, just like die another day. That James Bond movie. Getting another reference in that the bridge in the demilitarized
We have
zone.
another podcast to do. I'm in for this. I'll get a couple more later.
I mean, if you want me to talk about Die Another Day and the good points and the bad points, I will talk about it.
We gotta start our Wrestling with James Bond podcast.
We'll do that. But let's talk about this.
Dennis Rodman, yeah. Okay, so the
Dennis
thing
Rodman,
is, like,
Jimmy Hart.
North Korea. I saw that preview. I was hyped as fuck to watch that pay-per-view.
I got it at the office if you want to do it for an episode.
Is it on? It looks like it'd be too good.
Oh, it's not on the. It's not on the.
It's on the network.
It's
Okay,
not on
I
the
didn't think it
network.
would be.
No.
It looks fucking bad. Like I guess Flair versus Inoki just seems cool as shit to me.
And just how odd it is, like people just sitting there, like we must enjoy this.
Yeah.
Right.
Our leader, Dennis Rodman, told us we must be here.
Our leader, Dennis. The thing is, like, they were doing the promo with Dennis Rodman and Hulk Hogan, and the whole time, Dennis Rodman is dominating this promo.
He's trying to.
No, he is successfully because
Hogan had to tell him to calm down a little bit.
Right.
Well, that's because like there was that moment where Hulk was getting excited, and all of a sudden Rodman just comes up and wipes his mouth.
What was that?
And he was like, "Hey, take it easy, brother." I was like, "Oh my gosh, Dennis Rodman's in charge of this right now." There was a moment when, like, I don't know, Mario's saying something, Dennis Rodman responds, and he just looks at him like. Mr. Hulk Hogan, right? And I can't stop watching. Like, what's he gonna do?
But just that wipe of the mouth, and like I'm sure Hulk was just like, yeah, I'm cutting a promo and spit's coming out, and doesn't even register that was going on. Where like Dennis Rodman's a normal person, like, oh, he's got spit on his mouth.
I got you, buddy.
Right.
I got you.
Like,
I have my friend now.
So Hulk has,
They'll cut this.
So Hulk has no fucking clue why Dennis Rodman just wiped his fucking mouth in mid promo, like on pay-per-view, like. That's
just
incredible.
patted his own lips for him.
And then had to like play it off like, "Oh, take it easy there, brother." I'm like, Hulk Hogan is nervous because he doesn't know what Rodman's gonna do next, and neither do I. And this is great.
I love that Gene was like, "Oh, Dennis, last time I saw you was leaving an airport in
What does
Detroit."
this mean?
Never gonna see it again.
And then
What does that mean?
And then Rodman said, "That's the last time you'll see me in Detroit."
Oh, okay. I thought he said that's the last time you'll ever see me in an airport.
No, he was like,
holy
"That's the
shit.
last time you'll see me again at all. Like, you're never gonna see me again."
Yeah.
And for the last time.
Well, I get why it's the last time you'll see him in Detroit because they don't play for the Pistons anymore.
But see, here's the thing, though. He was traded from the Pistons in '93. This is like right as he got traded to the Bulls.
Yeah.
So he's like already had a stop in San Antonio. But he's still fucking bitter.
Still hot.
2 years later from the Pistons. Like
Isaiah Thomas had it out for him. They don't tell you about that in the 30 for 30.
And then, honestly, the only thing else I have that isn't Dennis Rodman is that Hulk Hogan is old. He's very old. And it was sort of weird to see him. Like, he's got no hair on it. I mean, he does, but, you know. Yeah, he doesn't.
Skullet.
And then there was a moment, and they set it up. They're like, yeah, I thought they were just doing it for, like, haha, Dennis Rodman's here. He's famous. Like, yeah, I got my boy Dennis Rodman here. And if anyone tries to come into that cage, Dennis Rodman's going to get him, right? Whatever. And then, oh, my God, right?
Yeah.
Someone tries to come in, and I don't know if this is real or not. Like, I really don't. And for a moment, I'm like, is this what it's like to be super into pro wrestling? Like, K-Fab's a thing. Learned that from Super iPad 12. Is a thing, right?
You didn't say it right, but I get it.
Oh, K-Fab.
I know what you meant.
Yeah, and I'm like...
K-iPad?
Yeah.
K-iPad, I don't know. But
K-iPatch? What?
He picks up a chair, and I'm thinking, this might not be supposed to happen right now. Oh my gosh! This is the most exciting moment. It's like, to me, this was Dennis Rodman's match.
It sucked you in.
Yeah.
It sucked you in.
It was great to watch Dennis Rodman win the final match of the evening.
I don't think that's quite how it happened.
No,
that's how I remember it.
Exactly how it happened.
That's the narrative that's in my head right
That's right.
now. What are your thoughts?
History goes to Victor.
Freaking Dennis Rodman, man.
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman's fantastic.
Well, don't worry. When North Korea takes over America, he'll rewrite that part of history.
I loved that they talked about Rodman being there so much that when Zodiac actually came out, I was like, man, that's real on the nose. Mm-hmm. Like it almost felt cheap that he actually did show up. Match was whatever. The promo was way better. It really was. I mean, and so does this set up with is this when it goes over to Hogan versus Sullivan in the
No, Hogan versus Sullivan has been going on since Hulk got there.
But Vader's not in the.
I think he was affiliated. They were because there was the alliance to end Hulk Hogan, and that's why Flair was associated with Sullivan, and that's why they had the big uncensored thing that happened prior to this event. Okay. And then, of course,
so he's always there.
Yeah, it's always there. It's always present.
I know this is just one of those things like, I'll just have Beefcake run out, brother.
Yeah, it's just all the heels being against Hulk Hogan because now he's here.
Gotcha.
So that's basically wrestling. Yeah, pretty much. So we can just keep feeding guys to Hulk.
It's wild. Kamala, you got a giant.
Yes, I think it's actually why Kamala got fired from WCW. He didn't want a job to Hogan again.
That'll happen. So. But he was all right with jobbing to Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, absolutely worth that. Like I said, this match was filmed for Baywatch, and I thought they had generic Baywatch people.
No, it was that Chokichi out first?
They had David Chokichi, who is actually Charles Robinson. Dispute me on that.
Yeah.
And then Gina Lee Nolan was there.
Yeah.
I recognized her right away. Mm-hmm. I loved how they kept the Slim Jim sign on the cage just to get the sponsors in there as well. Let's see. Hulk uses Vader's headdress in there. I thought that was kind of funny in this big, super serious match. Also, too, Vader's got a singlet on backwards.
Yeah, he does. It happened a lot, though.
Yeah. So
maybe it's his thing.
Yeah. It's like crisscross of WCW.
And Vader has the no fucks given suplex where he's like, yeah, I'll just throw you over my shoulder and
there
you just
go.
fall.
You learned that from the Nasty Boys.
And people like shit on Hogan because like, oh, he was too afraid to wrestle Vader. I'm like, that motherfucker just jacked.
It was just smart.
Yeah, he wanted to survive.
Yeah.
And then I like the height of this cage. It's very reminiscent to the time when we brought a cage to Big Time Wrestling.
God.
And they were giving us shit about it being a short cage. That fucking cage that we brought to Big Time was bigger than the cage they used on this fucking pay-per-view. Yeah. So that was appropriate. And then I like how I think like Hulk called that he was going to give the 1, 2, 3, and then just started climbing out of the cage. Like, he's like, you guys want to see a 1, 2, 3? You want to see a pinfall on Vader? Nope, you're not getting that. You're getting an escape.
Gotta go.
You're getting an escape in this.
I gotta bring this back.
Yeah. So, and old Leon hurt his shoulder on that back senton, which could have killed fucking Hogan if he would have landed whatever the fuck he was going for at that time. So, yeah. And then Flair comes out and yells at Vader, and they do the thing, well, we're on there, whatever. So... That's it about the show.
It happened.
There was a little bit of research I did about the show, and from what I hear, rumor and innuendo, because it was on a Conrad Thompson podcast, the Ultimate Warrior was at the show.
Was there?
Yes.
He was Renegade.
Was visiting people. And yeah, that is the thing, too. Like, did that meeting happen? Like, did he fucking Ultimate Warrior, like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah. You could just have me.
Yeah. And, like, we will, and we'll pay... top dollar for you, and you won't give us shit.
And you'll fuck it all up.
All right, what are your thoughts on Bash at the Beach 1995?
Man, I just kept having the thought, like I was 2 years old at the time. That's interesting. This is, man, a lot of things were funny then that would be difficult to get over today. It was cool to see a lot of these faces that I've heard of and never seen before. Mm-hmm. You know, like Macho Man Randy Savage and Sting, and never even heard the name Sting. That was a new one.
Not even the musical artist?
I had heard of not only that, also bee and wasp stings and jellyfish.
Pee on those.
Yeah, pee on those. The
piss on you.
What else? Who else did I see? Ric Flair, who is apparently the Nature Boy. So that was interesting. It was interesting, you know. Yeah, Kamala's a thing.
You're happy it's a thing?
No. I'm happy that it's weird that it was a thing. Does that make sense?
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I got that. Yeah. Rock on.
Yeah, because I'm like, at least I'm looking at this and going, right? As opposed to, oh, they were still doing that then, too. It's two different energies. Yeah, it was interesting. Cage match, I didn't know you could escape. I had no idea that was part of the rules.
I like the ones that's only the rules. The door or over the cage.
I think you either have to have no pinfall whatsoever and you can only escape, or it's got to be pinfall.
Only pinfall, no escape. Yeah,
because usually victory isn't like associated with escaping.
Well, it's usually the idea is that it's so far into these people's feud that there is no escape. Mm-hmm. He can't run away.
And the fact that you can escape means that people can get in.
Yeah.
And I don't like that either. And see, that's the thing too. In Baywatch, there was no... he just went over clean.
Yeah.
But in this, like, he had to escape. Yeah. So it's like, obviously, people who tell stories for a living were like, why the fuck would he escape the cage? Fuck off. Like, he's going to pin him in the middle of the ring. So... But we got to protect old Leon. What are your thoughts, Zane?
I liked it. I liked the pay-per-view. I was not displeased.
Okay.
I mean, racism's what it is. There's some sensitive character tropes that won't work these days.
Some sexism there too.
But
can't forget about the sexism, ladies.
You Remember, Pussy Cruncher.
9,000.
I don't know, man. It was the right amount of hokey that I remember early 90s, mid 90s wrestling being. And it was just kind of one of my favorite times. Yeah, and then there was a couple matches that were real fucking good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go out of my way to find Bash at the Beach, but if for some reason the streaming portion, if I was using the network as a cycle like you can do, and it popped up, I'd watch it for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Or I would be like, oh man, they had a really cool finish in this triple threat tag team match before triple threats were a thing. So I didn't hate it. If you heard this and you thought it was funny and you're like, oh, I might want to check that out, go ahead and check it out. It's pretty good.
Yeah, or at least just watch like how cool it looks on the beach.
Yeah,
like just the shots of it.
Yeah,
like they did a pretty good job filming it, considering like
the novelty of it all.
I'm sure the logistical nightmare of the whole goddamn thing.
Well, Jake Manning was running around there fucking whoever the equivalent to WCW Jake Manning is running around there losing his fucking mind.
Probably like a David Crockett or Craig Leathers. And I know all these people from 83 Weeks. Like all those people. All these people that Eric Bischoff talks about every week, they were probably losing their mind because of lighting and sound and power and all sorts of things. Like logistically, the fact that they pulled all this off, pretty cool, pretty interesting. It's only like 2 hours and 20 minutes, which normally pay-per-views are 2 hours 40 minutes. So that little less of 20 minutes was
made a
nice.
difference.
It made a fucking difference. It always makes a fucking difference on this fucking show. So yeah, I feel the same way you. Like, don't go out of your way to watch it.
But if it pops up, watch it. Give it a look.
Yeah, or
if you're entertained by what we said, you're going to be equally as entertained by the show.
Absolutely. And if you only want to watch one match on the show, just watch the Flair Macho Man one.
Yeah,
that's probably the best one to watch.
Yeah.
You know, the three-way had its moments, but
this is obviously where it's at.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's where we stand with that. Before we get out of here, this is coming out this Thursday, gentlemen. If you want, Brian, you've plugged your Twitter and shows you got coming up, so
I'll do it again.
Yeah, that's what you're about right now. So go ahead and let people know where you're at, where they can find you. I know you do a lot of like video stuff, a lot of funny stuff. So good little follow on Instagram. So make sure you plug that as well.
So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the like at The Penn Project. That's ThePenn Project. Not spelling that. All one word, all lowercase or uppercase. I don't think it matters. I do have a show coming up at the Fox and Hound. You're hearing this on Thursday. So it's tonight. Get your butt over there at 8 p.m.
You're going to be late.
Yeah. You better do it,
what one?
It's in Cornelius. What's up?
Whoa, shit.
Oh, man. Yeah. So all you Cornelius listeners who are right next to the Fox and Hound, come on see it. But yeah, that's it. I do a bunch of little funny videos with myself and others. Little 8-second clips. It's a lot of fun. And I appreciate the opportunity to be here and to plug this and to watch pro wrestling, because I would not be watching it if it weren't for the show. And you know what? That's the appropriate amount of pro wrestling that I'm comfortable with. So yeah.
Can't argue with that.
Zane, what about yourself? Like I said, this comes up this Thursday.
Tomorrow I will be at the Old Dallas Brewery in Dallas, North Carolina for All-Star Wrestling something.
Creepy Rest promotion.
August 9th, I'll be at Face to Face in Morrow, Georgia, followed by August 10th at PWX Pure. Oh, actually, no, that won't be me. That'll be an alter ego. Fuck, I ruined it. Don't listen. Don't come.
Don't listen.
August 15th, I'll be running a Queens of Combat show as part of the Gathering Wrestling Convention in Charlotte, North Carolina. Headlining will be Diamante versus Priscilla Kelly. Ton of amazing female talent there. We're going to be wrestling in Gastonia, North Carolina, August 24th against a mystery team for PWX's Land of Opportunity.
You want to give that away?
No, I can't do that. Not for free on this jabroni show. And then we're going to end the month out at StarCast 3.
There you go.
Fuck, I didn't realize it was so goddamn soon.
Oh, it is very soon.
I'm already tired.
Speaking of things that are soon, if you're listening to this in a timely fashion, I will be at Northeast Wrestling this weekend, August the 2nd and 3rd, but I'll be back with Northeast Wrestling the 16th, 17th, and 18th, so just log on to northeastwrestling.com for all of those dates. I also have my Vizart comedy show here in Charlotte, North Carolina, August the 9th. I'm also doing a comedy show at the Pineville Tavern, August the 8th. I will also be at StarCast. I will also be returning to Dayton, Ohio for Revolver August 23rd. And I think that's all. Also have the All Organic Comedy Show August 13th. A bunch of days. Just follow me on social media at ManScoutManning on Twitter and Instagram. Also, too, make sure if you're like, hey, you forgot this little fucking tidbit about Bash at the Beach 1995, just at me at Manscout Manning on any of those, or email me at jake@sslshow.com. I mix it up every time. Sometimes I say Manscout Manning at Yahoo.
You get it.
But it all goes to the same place.
You'll figure it out.
If you do want to buy a shirt, How Did This Get Booked t-shirt, just go to howdidthisgetbooked.com. Also, too, more information about upcoming shows. I'm going to be a bit more on top of that and the website, because that's where you can buy my merch if you want to buy a t-shirt, or I've actually got a new piece of merch that's coming out very, very soon. Go check it out. I can't say anything about it because I'm afraid the people that are making it are going to fuck it up, so I will advertise it when it comes out. But speaking of things that are out, we have a whole back catalog of stuff, so make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher. We are on Spotify. Like I said, anybody who's listening to Spotify that's just switched on over, take a screen cap so I can tweet it out, let people know we're on Spotify. We're also on YouTube, SoundCloud, and wherever podcasts are available. Big thank you again to Bobby T at This Toy Life, and also big thanks to Light Guy Nate. I will see you in StarCast at the end of the month. And this has been another edition of How Did This Get Booked?
Bannon.